review some of our Host and SOOL, or wrist grips. Host and SOOL means self-defense. And as we start training as a white belt, we all start with the same technique called cross wrist grip number 1. As we progress, we learn different grips. Our green belts have started to learn same side wrist grips. Our red belts have started 2 hands on 1 hand wrist grips. And our adult members and dons may have done 2 hands on 2 hands wrist grips. Today we will review same side wrist grips, 1 for our green belts and 2 for our red belts, and 2 on 2 wrist grips, 1 and 2 for our adult and don members. White belts will continue to work on cross wrist number 1, which is what we will start with. Once I finish demonstrating and working with you on your level technique, I'll ask you to pause the video and do 5 more repetitions, either by doing them on your own discipline or by reviewing the video and doing 5 more with me. That means that once the white belts, for example, are finished practicing cross wrist grip number 1, they will fast forward to the next video in the playlist. That means you will not be watching the green belt, red belt, and adult member techniques, even though they are here in this video. Please fast forward past them and go to the next section, which will be our forms. So all members, let's start with cross wrist grip number 1. I will be acting as the mirror image and doing the technique with you for practice. Please practice this week until you are very comfortable with the technique, because next week I'll ask you to practice without me demonstrating. While the white belts will be doing cross wrist number 1, and so I'll be demonstrating that and practicing with them, our green belts and up can certainly practice other cross wrist grips that they know. So if you can remember cross wrist 2, 3, or 4, you can feel free to practice that while the white belts and I are practicing number 1. Starting with our cross wrist number 1. Your partner will reach across and grab your right hand with their right hand. So this is the hand and foot you'll be moving first. Once they've grabbed your hand, you open your hand to loosen their grip. You step forward and point your hand towards your stomach and your elbow towards your partner. And up. Second move is a pseudo strike to the neck. Doop. Third move is a palm heel to the in-chung, which is the upper lip. Hup. And the last move is a palm heel strike to the groin area with the key up. Hup. Kia. Our hands come back in a ready position, and we hold this until we hear borrow. Let's put all the moves together. Your hand has been grabbed. See, jump. And now. Do. Set. Net. Kia. Borrow. Now we'll do this sequence 5 times together. Ready? Pretend you've been grabbed. See, jump. Kia. Borrow. Prepare. Doop. Kia. Borrow. Prepare. Set. Kia. Borrow. Prepare. Nut. Hey. Borrow. Prepare. That's it. Kia. Borrow. White belts, at this point, you will pause the video and repeat cross wrist number 1 5 more times. If you can do it on your own discipline, that's great. If you're having any trouble remembering the sequence of moves, please rewind the video and do 5 times again with me like we just did. Remember, whenever I tell you to practice a certain number of times, like in this case, please practice 5 times, that's just a minimum number. That means you need to practice at least 5 times, but you could certainly practice more if you need to keep working on the sequence and feel like you're comfortable with it. Remember, the goal is to know it well enough this week that you can do it next week without me demonstrating it for you. White belts, once you've finished all of your repetitions and you feel comfortable with cross wrist number 1, please fast forward to the next section, which will be our Hyung review. Our next technique for our green belts and up will be same side wrist grip number 1. In our same side wrist grips, our partner is still reaching with their right hand, but they're grabbing our same side. So that's our left hand. So again, you're going to be moving this side and I will be moving this side as your mirror image. When your arm has been grabbed for same side number 1, you open and you step in to a side stance and you settle your weight. You also slide your hand out of their grip if you need to. Sometimes just by settling your weight, their grip will get loose. Other times you have to move your hand towards your body. But remember, we're not pulling our hand. We're not yanking on that person's grip. We are dropping our weight and we're sliding our hand out of their grip if we need to. Our next move is a back fist to the face. Now the same hand is going to do a kwando strike toward the groin area. It comes around in a big circle and hits up into the groin area with this round part at the base of your hand, like if you did a kwando down. Here we're doing a kwando up. You can see my body and my stance have shifted away, and now we use our whole weight with a Yak-Sudo strike to the neck. Remember, a Yak-Sudo uses this inside part of your hand and your thumb has to tuck in so that it doesn't get hurt during this strike. All right, so let's try that again with the moves a little bit quicker. Your hand will be grabbed on the same side. You open, step, settle your weight, get out of the grip. Back fist to the face, kwando to the groin. Yak-Sudo with the kia. Hup, kia. Far out. Let's do that 5 times together. Prepare. Hana. Hi. Far out. Prepare. Do. Hi. Far out. Prepare. Set. Hi. Far out. Prepare. Net. Hi. Far out. Prepare. Toss it. Hi. Far out. Remember, as you're doing your strike to the face and your kwando strike to the groin, we are trying to get some elbow to elbow connection. So again, as you're coming up and as you're coming down, we're thinking about getting these elbows closer together. So it will feel a little bit different. If we don't think about our elbow to elbow connection, we may not be using our hip movement the way that we should. If I'm just thinking up and down, I can do that motion with my hand without really getting the rest of my body involved. But if I think up, down, my hip gets a little bit more active and I can feel that there's more power to those moves. So now please pause the video and do 5 more repetitions on your own. If you need to rewind the video and do 5 repetitions again with me, that's fine. Once the green belts have finished practicing same side number 1, you will fast forward to the next section of the playlist, which will be your hyung. Red belts and adults will continue to watch with me to the next technique. Same side grip number 2. Again, your partner is reaching with their right hand, but they're reaching to the same side. So they're going to be grabbing your left hand, and I will be moving this side so that I'm the mirror image to you. For same side number 2, once you've been grabbed, we're going to think about getting ourselves ready to make a big push. So our big push will involve the hand that's been grabbed pushing out, the foot that matches that hand stepping with it, and our other hand coming in with a pseudo strike. So our first move after we open our hand is actually 3 moves at the same time. So our hand's been grabbed, we open, we push, step, and pseudo strike like this. So we've pseudo striked our partner's neck and we've got their arm, we're going to grab right a hold of it. We've got them off balance because we took a big enough step that they got pulled in this direction, but our balance is pretty good and centered. We're going to grab behind their neck and do a knee strike with the key up. Hi! And barrel. When you're in clash, you try to hold that knee strike until you hear barrel. Let's try that again with the moves a little bit more connected. You've been grabbed, you open. Your first move is a push, a step, and a pseudo all at the same time. Hana. Do. Kya. Barrow. Now let's do this sequence 5 times together. Prepare. Hana. Hey. Barrow. Prepare. Do. Hey. Barrow. Prepare. Set. Hey. Barrow. Prepare. Net. Hey. Barrow. Prepare. Toss it. Hey. Barrow. Red belt members, you will now pause the video and practice this technique again 5 more times. You can do that on your own discipline, or you can rewind the video and practice along with me again. Adults and DON members who have done 2-on-2 previously will continue to watch and practice with me. Everyone else should complete their practice and then fast forward to the next section of the playlist, which will be hyung review. Our next section will be 2-on-2 wrist grips for our adults and DON members. Today we will review number 1 and number 2. As you are grabbed, both hands, you could actually start this move in either direction. However, we traditionally practice this for testing by moving our right foot first. Our first move, after we open our hands, is to step, push push our elbows toward our partner and then slide our hands out of their grip. Our second move is a double pseudo strike. So our lower hand strikes the ribs and the palm is down. Our upper hand strikes the neck and the palm is up so that both hands are doing a pseudo at the same time. We'll strike and come back immediately with a kia. Hey! And bar row. So when I put the moves together, it looks like this. You've been grabbed, open, step, twist, hey! And strike with a kia. Bar row. The key is that we're not yanking or pulling our arms to try to get them away from our partner. We're actually using our body mechanics by pushing forward with our elbows and then sliding out through the weaker part of their grip. And to help us do that, we twist at the waist. So let's do this 5 times together. Prepare, hana, kia, baro. Prepare, do, kia, baro. Prepare, set, hey, baro. Prepare, net, kia, baro. Prepare, that's, kia, baro. Please pause the video and review the same technique again 5 more times, or rewind the video and do the technique again 5 times with me. Once we've all finished practicing our 2-on-2 number 1, we will move on to 2-on-2 number 2. 2-on-2 number 2 again starts with both arms being grabbed. In this case, we will step our right foot and we will shift our left arm to be under our right arm. So the first move looks something like this. So what we're doing is we're crossing our arms. We're thinking elbow to elbow, which is putting our partner now in a very uncomfortable cross-armed position. We're going to take the low hand and we're going to shift in a big circular movement so we've trapped their arms beneath us. And then we're going to prepare to do a pseudo strike with our right hand and the kia. Hey! Baro. I'll demonstrate that sequence with the moves a little bit more connected. You've been grabbed, you open, you step and cross, you shift and trap your partner's arms, and shift pseudo strike with the kia. Hey! As you practice this, you'll notice that our stances and our hip movements become quite important. As we do our first move and step, we step into a front stance. And then as we twist and trap, we're shifting all the way into a front stance facing the other direction. Now for a little bit more power with our pseudo strike, we adjust our foot, hey, and bar row. Let's do this 5 times together. Prepare, hana, hey, bar row. Prepare, do, hey, bar row. Prepare, set. Hey, bar video and practice at least 5 more times on your own discipline. Or you can rewind the video and practice 5 more times with me. Once we've all completed our practice, let's bow out together. Chariot.